Good day, folks. Welcome to the MB Wildman channel. Welcome back to my incredibly chaotic world of early October, getting ready to go deer hunting. We're back again with another video of a homemade deer attractant that you can make. Listen, if you haven't yet subscribed to the MB Wildman channel, we sure would appreciate it. Just go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Turn on that bell if you want to get notified when we upload new content. Also, right down along the bottom of the screen here somewhere, there's a little button called Super Thanks. That's a chance for you to be able to give back to the MB Wildman channel if you'd like to donate or support the channel. All of those funds, anybody that does that, we're going to rake those all in, and we're going to donate those back to youth hunting and youth trapping programs here in New Brunswick. So if that's something you want to do, go ahead and click that button, and then you can walk your way all through that. So anyway, listen, today we're back looking at a new product. Now this is a product that's available here on the store shelves in New Brunswick. This is Deer Cane Black Magic All Season. Now, I purchased this product a couple of years back, and I really liked it. It worked out well. It stayed for a long time. Now, the bag claims that it lasts for up to 6 months, and it's effective all year long. Well, in New Brunswick, it's not effective in the wintertime because it's buried under 15 feet of snow. But I will say that early spring, they did come back to this site, and they stayed at it for a lot of the time. Now, I don't know about what your experience is with using, salts and attractants and mineral and stuff like that, but usually here in New Brunswick, for me, by the time that the deer get mature and they get their full velvet on, and then as soon as their antlers stop growing about mid-August or so here, they start to lose that craving for the mineral, at your mineral site, and then they'll take off for a couple weeks, they'll shed their velvet, and they'll come back hard-horned. But after that, it's real tough to use mineral to attract deer into a specific area because they don't need it anymore. Salt is okay because they still will see salt as like a treat, right? They'll come back and, lick the salt block or whatever because they like to lick the salt. But salt has nothing to do with antler growth and nothing to do with, bone or structure, anything like that. That's all like calcium, magnesium, phosphorus, all those things. But what I did find was this Black Magic All Season, for whatever reason, sort of the mixture of it, the concentration of it, it did keep them coming back a little more frequently to my sites after the mineral craving was gone. So what I like about the product is that. What I hate about the product is that, you see that price tag right there? I don't know if you can see that on the camera or not, but that says $39.99. Now, I'm sure that maybe you can get it cheaper where you are, but still, 40 bucks? This bag isn't that big. I don't know if it's got 15 pounds. 15 pounds for 40 bucks. That seems extreme to me. So, I basically checked out the guaranteed analysis, which is like the mineral content, and then I checked out the ingredients, and I thought, piece of cake. I'm pretty sure I've got everything in my skinning shed, with the exception of maybe 1 or 2 small dollar store type products. And I can make this myself. So here we go. We're going to throw together our very own version of Black Magic All Season. And, feel free to use it, test it out, put it down in the comments whether you had any success with it or not or what. But I've used it. This is middle of October. I've made this mix since about, end of May, 1st of June. And I've had pretty good success with it at 2 or 3 different sites that I've got. There's no food in here, so there's no bear attractant. Bears will walk by and smell it because it smells good, but they won't hang around. Raccoons the same way. Raccoons will come in and sniff around for a little bit, but because there's nothing to eat, they'll take off, right? Whereas deer will come in and paw and lick the ground. This will also, I don't know if it brings them in, but moose also like this too. I've had dozens of moose pictures at my camera where I've got a couple of these used. So I got a small bull, maybe an 8 or a 10-point bull, and then I've got a cow and a calf that just live on this stuff, right? So, but the deer don't seem to mind that, so that's all right. All right, so let's get started. Just a bowl to start with and a spoon to mix with. We're gonna go pretty quick, but anyway, it's what we got. So first thing is going to be about 4 cups. I'm just going to make a small batch here just to kind of show you, but you can make whatever size batch you want, just double up the ingredients. So I want about 4 cups of feed grade sodium bicarbonate. And sodium bicarbonate is just a fancy word for baking soda. But I buy the feed grade because it's super cheap. And I buy it in a large bag at like think that one came from Suregain. Like any feed store will have it. It's just in bulk. I actually have no clue why you would need that out on the farm, but anyway, apparently they do. So about 4 cups of sodium bicarbonate or baking soda. I then take a half of that amount, but 2 cups, half that amount of absolutely regular, run-of-the-mill, everyday road salt. Okay, so this little yellow bag down here is just a bag that says ice salt, melts ice and snow on walkways and driveways, you know, that's like the $2 bag that you can buy in the wintertime. Now, I mix this as I go. I just try to keep it, I don't know, evenly consistent. You don't have to, it doesn't really matter. At the end of the day, all of this is going to dissolve into a stump or into, you know, melt into the ground at your spot or whatever. So, okay, so I've got sodium bicarbonate, I've got the salt. Next, I need just 1 cup, go light on this, just about 1 cup of CalMag. So again, if feed store stuff, calcium magnesium, it's called CalMag Plus, I believe. And basically what that is exactly what it sounds like. It's calcium and magnesium put together. And this will give this mixture all of the mineral, or most of the mineral, that would be anything to do with antler development or bone growth or anything like that. So depending on when in the season you're going to use this mix at your spot. If you're using it early, when they're still into antler growth and those types of things, then that will really be a help. If you're using it late, then this will probably be a help for next spring or next season when they come on. Now, the other bag, this bag over here says trace minerals. So it also has calcium magnesium in there, but also says trace mineral. So to duplicate the trace mineral, what we normally do is, again, take about 2 cups this time. And this is food, not food, my word, Andrew. This is feed grade. And all this is exactly what it sounds like. This bag came from a local feed store as well. I think it came from Suregain. And that's exactly what it says on it, trace mineral for cattle. So you can add it to the feed, and it's basically, it's like a gray, I'll show it to you. It's like a gray rock type mixture, right? It doesn't dissolve. It will sit on the ground, most of it, after everything else sort of fades away. But it's just called trace minerals. And it's got everything in there. It's got calcium in there. It's got a little bit of magnesium. It's got phosphorus. It's got all kinds of minerals that are good for livestock, right? So if it's good for livestock, it's usually good for deer. But anyway, so that takes the trace mineral part, puts it in there. Next, we've got, this is my dollar store ingredient. We're gonna add 2 small bags. This is a 1 kilogram bag. No, 4, no, way later. This is 400 grams. So I'm gonna add 2 bags of this. And this is just simple brown sugar, cheap as you can buy. Now, sometimes you can buy brown sugar at feed stores in bulk. I have not yet found a feed store locally here in New Brunswick that will sell me brown sugar in bulk. But I have found a dollar store that I can buy a bag like this size for $1. So I put 2 of them in. And the brown sugar, among other things, adds sugar. Rocket science there. Adds sugar. But it also adds a light molasses flavor, which you'll find if you smell this, right? If you check this out, it does smell a lot like molasses. One of the ingredients from the bag says, let's see, says molasses products. Okay. So whatever molasses products means, I mix in 2 bags of this brown sugar product from the dollar store. Now this will disappear in the first bit of rain, the first bit of water. This sugar will disappear down into the ground or down into the stump. I suggest that you put this on a dead stump or a dead little pile of logs to make it last longer and hold longer. But you do you, and I'll do this. So, all right, so we've mixed in the brown sugar. And the only thing that we have left to do to make our product pretty much the exact same as far as what's contained in the Black Magic bag. Is we need to make it, we need some type of real strong attractant, some smell that's going to bring deer toward us, bring us deer into our spot without bringing in bears and raccoons to stay. And two things that we're going to use to do that. First of all, I know we put road salt in here already, but this is also available at the dollar store. So this is called Himalayan pink salt. The reason, now this is in one of those ridiculous, like, turn it upside down and like crack it containers. So I could sit here and turn this for about an hour and a half, and I would eventually get all of the salt in there. But it would be really fine, and I don't want that. So I actually want the rock salt. You can see what the size it is, right? So it's small, but it's not fine salt like you'd put on your table. So I want somehow I want that out of here. Come on. There we go. I want that in there. Now, one of the reasons I want that in there is because it adds a little color, but it also has a bit of a scent to it. So I like this Himalayan pink salt. If you look around at, if you go looking at deer attractant stuff on the store shelf, you will find a lot of it has this Himalayan rock salt in it, this pink salt. Or you'll find that the actual chunks of it out there. It's expensive. Like it's, in my world, it's $15, $20, $30 for a little chunk of this pink Himalayan salt. That container that I just added to this mixture was $1 at the good old dollar store. So we'll mix it in. I know we already had some salt in there, but I do like to mix in a little bit of that. And last but not least, my secret ingredient, not secret at all, I got videos on it already. This is dry molasses. Again, I buy this at feed stores. This is a powder substance that makes everything smell like molasses. So if you got something that your pigs and your cows and your whatever don't want to eat because it isn't very tasty, they mix in molasses, and you don't need very much of it. I'm going to put in, like, I'm going to say a quarter cup. Like, whoo, that's lots, man. Whoo. Does that ever smell like molasses? Now, you can also use, if you want this to be like the bulk, if you want to be a lot, I guess if you want more mixture, instead of using the molasses, because you don't use very much of that, you can actually buy the dehydrated molasses. I get that at the feed store as well. And it comes in a big bag like this, and it's just basically molasses, feed grade, that's been dehydrated, so it's like a powder form. I use that a fair bit in some other recipes, but for this, I don't need it to be big and bulky, but I do need it to smell like molasses. So when I put that molasses in there, now I've got this whole mixture. So between that and the brown sugar, yeah, perfect. So you've got this whole big mixture, you've got this whole bowl. It's kind of got a brownish, whitish kind of color to it, right? Like it's pretty good as far as camoed up and stuff like that. And most of this, again, this will be spread out over a dry stump or an old dry rotten stump or logs or whatever, and it'll soak right in. Deer will absolutely love this, and it's got all of the benefits of the Black Magic. It's got the minerals in there. It's got the attractant in there. It's got the salt in there. It's got the smell in there. And it was cheap. I probably built this batch right here for, I mean, I know I had to buy the ingredients, don't get me wrong. None of this stuff is free. But these ingredients make boatloads and boatloads and boatloads of this. Like I might have 1, 2, 3, 4. Like I might have $6 in here, maybe, right? Depending on, what you paid for your road salt and your Himalayan salt and all that stuff like that. So, I mean, I got $3 from the dollar store because I used 2 of those. But I mean, really super cheap, super easy to do. And you will find that this works. This will bring deer in, and deer will lick this and eat this, and they will come back. So anyway, listen, I hope this helps you out. Just another quick and simple recipe here for a deer attractant here on the MB Wildman channel. And until next time, happy hunting from the MB Wildman channel.